Hello everybody and welcome back to Alma. So today we are, well currently right now we're on our way down to the soybean field. That's where we're going to go park this tractor and trailer up, and then we'll go get the combine and bring that down and get that harvested. And I'm very interested because I can't remember, I think I've said it once twice, but I can't remember whether you do get straw from soybeans. I'm hoping we do because it will be a nice added extra benefit. So today, obviously, we'll get that field harvested. We'll probably look to get it baled, and I would like to try and get one of the maize field or corn fields harvested and get them into the corn dryer. We also do butter, cheese, and strawberry yogurt. They are all ready to be sold this episode. Oh, they're very well. They're up at their max sort of value. So we will look at selling them to bring some money in. Which, if we do that, I will just show you. Let me just pull off the road. There is, and I think it would be quite a good addition. If we go to here, there is a second-hand tractor in the sale. So, and 60% off, that's a lot of money knocked off it. So what I am going to do, I'm just going to knock the time down to 0 so nothing can change to make sure that stays there. Because if not, the only other option for us to do is to go sell these now. Which, to be fair, if we go onto here, eggs are a good price, but I don't think it's worth selling them just yet. So let's go cheese. Let's tag the place they can be sold at. How far away? Oh, it's just over there. So what I may do is I may just put these onto the forklift and sell these whilst we're here, because it saves us doing multiple trips then, I think. Right, let's just, and then it means we can put the time back on to normal time. Okay, we can't do that many. I did think it was being a bit. We would try. Where are these tires? How far these tires go in through here? All right, let's go to there. Right, okay, we've definitely got the ones we want there. So let's just drop them down. Put them right on like so, and yeah, we'll do this then. We'll just use this to transport them around to where we want to sell them. Which is the better price, but that's on the train, and I ain't done anything to do with the train just yet, so I thought I'm not going down that route just yet. But right, with that now done, it does mean so 135, so we can now go and buy this, which is something I would like to do. I'd like to get that onto the farm because it just gives us another tractor with a bit more speed, and we've still got the horsepower up there. Do we do anything with the wheels? We're on standard. No, we will do it at some point, but let's buy that, and there's all our money gone again. I just got to have a look to see if there's, because what's the ketchup at? So the ketchup isn't far off. We could if we wanted to, because that doesn't take anything to make. Let's go to productions. Oh, so it's out of tomatoes. Is our greenhouse still, that's doing the tomatoes? Is that still, yeah, that's still going. We should really get just one greenhouse for, we should get one greenhouse just for tomatoes and one for strawberries, because I don't know whether the production, the rate halves because we're doing two. But let's just go get a palletine load of ketchup. We'll sell that just to make our bank balance look a bit healthier. Once we get more productions, you know, like when we buy the pizzeria and so on, it does mean that we will have less products to sell, but more higher value products to sell. So yeah, it's a bit at the minute doing all getting all these pallets sorted out, especially at our farm at greenhouses. Because what I will do is once we get, I will probably knock some of them on the head, you know, not do them no more. But I'm just trying to build up a big stockpile of products so that when the time comes, we'll make a fortune. Right, I'm just going to go down to this bottom, get these 6 sold. So what should be there? This 5, 10, 15. So this should be over 30 odd thousand pounds on our tines here. Just casually going down the road like you do. I am just going to, whilst we're here, put my interactive zone markers on. Because I have a feeling that there'll be multiple drop-off points here, there and everywhere, and if I go through them with these, I'll lose the top ones. I'll only keep the ones on the tines. Yeah, so that if I'd gone through either of those two, or that one over there, I would have lost 4 pallets and not got the max price that they are currently right now. So into there's 20,500 plus another 10 and a bit. So that's, yeah, 30, what we're going to say, I don't know, 30 plus £1,000 just for them, that bit of ketchup. So it gets us up to 48,000, which looks a bit better. So we'll go pack this back up at the dairy, which is another thing that we'll have to remember, is to bring some milk up this way. I like that. That's cool. How they're all stood at the shop as if they're buying from it. And for some reason they love walking on the road. Down there, they're always on the road. Right, let's park this up here, and then we are going to, well, we might as well not tab back because we have our tractor just over here. So we'll take this back to the farm, and then we will get straight into getting this soybeans harvested. Because that's going to be fairly important. And what I like about soybeans, there's a lot of things you sell sort of in the December, January time, but with soybeans you sell is it June or July? So it just gives you, so it breaks up the year. So every 6 months you should have a load of stuff to sell, especially like sort of the wool and whatnot, where is that May, March sort of time. But right, let's get this back to the farm, and then we'll jump in our combine and take that down. So machinery wise, I think we don't need any more tractors now for a while. I would like to get into the huge John Deere. So is it the 9RX? I think the oscillating one. I would like to get into stuff like that, but I think to prioritise, we need the planter next, which we can buy once we've sold a lot of our products. So I'm not bothered about getting money for that. And then I would like to sell this combine and grain header. We'll keep the corn header because that's the biggest one you can get. I'd like to sell this and just go for the biggest John Deere possible, because I was thinking about the series that we've done and thinking along the lines of what combines have we used. And obviously Oakbridge, we got the New Holland, the big New Holland. Saxingham, we are going down the Clas route. So obviously on here I would like to go down the John Deere route. And if we do another American map, which I'm sure we will, I'll probably look to go down the Case route on there, just to keep things different all the time. Because I know Farm Sim, it's a brilliant game and you can play it how you like, but you can get set on stuff that you enjoy and what you like to use, and then it means that you don't use anything else. Which, if you're playing for yourself, I would say is absolutely fine. But when you're playing to try make content, and hopefully enjoyable content, I would think it would get a bit tedious for people watching, that you just, you know, if you just continuously get the same machinery time after time. Right, let's get this on and we'll make a start in the soybean field. come to the end now of our first soybean harvest in, well, definitely on Alma, and even more so, I'm going to say on FS25. So that has been a relatively painless job, which is good. And it's lovely that we do get the straw, so I was glad I was right on that one. I know in the description for Alma it probably says something in that bold lettering saying you get straw, but I just couldn't remember. It was one of those things that was said, well, I think, did I watch it on a YouTube video? Can't remember. It's one of those things that I'm sure I've heard, but it just never computed, properly. Right, let's get this into here. So it all fits into one trailer load. So I'm just trying to work out, as we were doing that harvest, what we're going to do with our fields. Obviously we're doing everything planting, so we have this field here, and then we have these 4 and 5. So obviously field 2 is going to stay as alfalfa. We need a sorghum field, because the chickens can eat that and we can do it with the planter. So, and I'm not doing this in corn because that's been corn twice. So I think this is going to be soybeans. I think we're going to go, which are the bigger ones? So 5 is 8 acres, 32 is 7, but that will yield better. So I think 32 and 3 will be corn. 8, what's that? 6 acres, but it's much better ground. And then between these two, one will be soybeans and one will be, well, no, that can't be corn. So corn in 32, corn in 3, soybeans in 1. We'll do soybeans in 8 and maybe sorghum in 5. But you don't know, we may have bought another field by then. Right, let's get this all folded up, packed up, and we can take this back to the yard. We are going to just put some fuel into the combine, and we don't need this header and trailer no more because it's all corn. So let's drop that off onto there. And considering we're not using the header and trailer, we might as well wash it off. But who knows, this could be the last time we use that header. Because come next year, if we just have a look on here, it's like if you look, this is what's so brilliant about it. We have £1 million worth of stuff already just built up in storage, which would mean if we were to sell this combine, sell the header and header trailer, and then go for the bigger one, we'd be able to afford it. But before we do anything like that, we do have some outstanding hire purchases to pay off, and I may pay the loan off, or I may just let it tick away. If it was the base game loan system, then yes, I'd pay it off because you're already paying the interest. But at least on here, you're actually paying using the advanced loan system. You're always paying it down, which is what I quite like. It's like Saxlingham. We took £1 million loan out, and we're already into 800,000 left. And you're barely feeling the pinch of it, especially with, I think it's 17 or a bit £1,000 a month to pay, which 1 or 2 contracts, it's done. So I am going to just wash this header off first before we go to put it away. And I could really do, because with these dolly trailers, they are a nightmare reversing. So ideally, if we can find a shed that you can just drive straight through, that'd be the best place, because then you don't have to reverse it. Right, let's get this. Put it on this. So that was nearly maximum dirt. And what's the damage on it? 6%. Because you lose yield if you don't maintain your headers. So it's one of them. If I wasn't thinking about selling it, I'd probably repair everything now to keep it right. So that's clean. What about the trailer? Header trailer. That's fine. Combine. We might as well give you a wash, considering we're changing. If it was real life, you give them a good clean out between each crop. So we might as well do that now. 40%. 625 horsepower this. And it weighs 26.6 tons. That's a fair amount. Right, where is... there. Put you back onto there. And we'll just park this up again the side. And we are going to use our new John Deere, the 7R. We're going to put that onto the baler and we'll go bale that straw. the soybean straw. So we'll get that baled first, and then we can move down to the maize field down there, and we'll get that cut in this episode. I haven't given that a good enough run up. Is the back end right? That's off the road. Let's do that like so, and then we can just reverse into here for the header. I just hope the grass equipment isn't in the way too much with it being where it is. Oh, that wasn't lined up at all well. Get that put on. Right, and then this can drive into the shed. So let's turn that off, leave that there. Where is... that doesn't need to come back just yet. This is what we want, and the baler is down here. I will swap these tyres out to get wider tyres. I'll get the wide tyres and wheel weights. They are my absolute favourite, because I don't know about you lot from what you can see, but just look at those back... ooh, hello. Look at those back wheels from how I can see it. It looks very, very strange how narrow they are. Don't look right, but that's because I'm used to, obviously, the bigger tyres. Now, where is, before we go, because we used so much net wrap in the previous episode when we were doing all those silage bales, where is it? Have I used it all already? Okay, I didn't expect that. Well, doesn't matter too much, because what I did find out is if you press R, it does fill up what you're empty with. I don't know whether it charges you more because you're doing it in the field without going, without going to the shop and buying it, but it's one of them. The convenience, everything in life, you pay for the convenience of things. It always costs more. So there should be no baling after we've done this for a while, which will be quite nice, because I know that doing that silage, that was one almighty task. But anyways, I did remember I have changed this to 180, so we haven't done the same mistake as last time we did silage, and we did a few of the bales at 150. But right, we will get cracked on here. If we run out, we can just obviously refill, hopefully. I'm just hoping that works for the net wrap as well. Yeah, for the bale net, instead of, yeah, I hope it works for the bale net, because it works for the bale wrap. If that makes sense. Oh, I've got to keep my foot on the accelerator, my bad. Right, we'll get on. Well, I think considering we don't get straw from soybeans in base game, that's yielded very, very well. So I don't know, obviously I don't know how you do all these things, how modders do it, and I think it's fantastic. But I don't know whether it's a direct convert of what you get for barley and straw, whether there's a difference there, I don't know. But I know one thing, I'm not complaining at all about how much straw we've got there, because the majority of it will probably just go to be sold. Right, we'll just unload that bale out of there. It's only 41%, but that doesn't matter. And then I'm going to use Follow Me, but we're going to go jump into the 8R. It's an 8R, is it? I'm sure it is. Oh, good. It is. Is it right shift S? No. I can't remember which one it is now. Or is it F? There we go. So it's right control. What did I say? F. Right, so let's jump into here. And there's definitely a worker in that, in the 7R. So they're turning with us. Right, brilliant. So we'll take this, we'll get this empty of soybeans, which there must be an almighty amount of money in there. 31,500. We'll have to have a look on the time-saving stock check to see actually how much these soybeans are going to make us. But anyway, so we'll go tip this into our silo. We can then go take it over to our cornfield. We'll go jump in our combine, take that over as well, which that may need a refuel. I'll just have to have a look. We haven't fueled it since we started, but we're not far if we have to. And for the sake of buying a mobile diesel tank, it's not too big a thing. So let's get these tipped into here, like so. Whilst that's doing that, we'll just jump in and get this worker off because they don't need to be sat here doing nothing. So get rid of you. And this can just go and be parked up. I don't quite know where yet, but we'll just... The big thing we need another shed. I know I've said it a few times now, I think. So that will be also something else on the agenda. But once we've sold and made an absolute boatload of money, which we should be doing, then we can start to look at doing all that sort of thing. So let's turn that off and let's run up to here now. Then, like I said, once we jump in here, we'll have a look at what the time-saving stock check says we'll get for our soybeans, and then we can take this over to the cornfield. Once the cornfield's cut, then I would imagine that'll be it for the episode. So soybeans, 117,000, and they're currently worth 60. It's mad the difference. So they're half price. So for every bean now, we get two. So if it was £1 for every bean, it soon doubles, doesn't it? Right. Let's get this to the cornfield, we'll park this up, and then we'll have to come back, go get our tractor. Go get our combine. I know one thing, I seem to be the most tongue-tied I've ever been for an episode, trying to say stuff and just completely getting it all wrong, like with the bale net wrap and the actual bale wrap. Right, let's flick through to... This is what we want. I think we'll be alright diesel wise. You think we've done a whole harvest before and not had to refuel. And we've only got the cornfield, the big cornfield there, which on our return we can refill just to make sure. But then again, it's one of them, if we are going to sell, it's just a waste of money to go do that. Which, interestingly, let's just have a quick look. What is our combine? To 2, so we'll get closer to 3. You'd think you'd get closer to 300,000, and then especially with the corn header and trailer, so that's about half the money you need to buy the bigger combine. So I don't know, do we sell it after we've done our harvest? Well, that won't be for today's episode. Right, let's start getting everything unfolded so that we are ready. Like so. Is that the header on? Yeah, that's header on. Let's just creep into the field so we can get our GPS on. And just like that, we are away. Now we're away. Well, that didn't work with the worker. I was hoping I could just put the worker on to do this last little bit, and then I could have followed down the side with the tractor, but for some reason it wanted to drive straight through the crop, and then when I took over it then did a bit of damage. But anyways, so that is that cornfield done, with an extra 5.5 or just shy of 5,500 litres to go in. So in the next episode we will, let's just go fold the header up. So in the next episode we will take that trailer load down to the corn dryer. We'll come empty this out here. We then have our big cornfield over there, which that'll take all episode to do. So we'll get that cut, and we have the bales to sort out over there. So I don't think there's much more to really say. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the video, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye for now.